Or walk onto the competition floor or event. Flash photography is strictly prohibited. And now it's time for me to take competitors. Please welcome the Army Black Knights, coached by Jamie Reed. The Greenville Panthers, coached by Jack Peters. The Navy Migs, coached by Tim Simon, Captain Vishal Ondava. The Springfield Pride, coached by Matthew Peter, Captain Carter Machado and Owen Hardy. The William and Mary Tribe, coached by Mike Powell, Captain Jonathan Orman and Cam Smith. And your Simpson Storm! Your judges for today's meeting are Ed Yakovich, Manny Newhauser, Tim Michaels, Pat Fortunato, Ryan Weaver, Bruce Temple, Ryan Cooper, Matt Wright, Tristan Hubbleman, Ken Acaron, Quentin Peters, and Aubrey Dvorak. And now, fans, we ask that you please direct your attention to the American flag as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Hello, welcome all tuning in today. Today is the ECAC Conference Championships, the Eastern Collegiate Athletic Conference of 2025 in Cowles Fieldhouse, hosted by Simpson Storm in Indianola, Iowa. So excited. My name is Asad Jooma. I'm here today bringing you guys a little bit of commentary with my co-host, Christian Marsh. Christian, go ahead.
Oh, I am just so excited to be here today for the conference championship in the biggest and best conference in men's gymnastics. There's going to be such an exciting meet. There's so much on the line today, and only a few of these teams can make it to the NCAA championships.
That is correct. Only a few are going to make it. Starting off today with the Naval Academy, head coached by Kip Simons, assisted with Craig Holt and Ryan Terrell. These guys have been trailblazing through the season. They're absolutely incredible athletes. Their average of the season so far is a 313.167, and their high is a 320.7. I know they're looking to beat that score today. Now moving over to the Simpson Storm, Simpson College. These guys are the hosts of the ECAC Championships. This is their first ever time hosting a ECAC Conference Championship. Their coaches are Colin Payne and Kelsey Koken. I know these guys are pumped. I know they're excited. This is just an exciting moment for them in general. Their average of the season is a 297.983 and a high of a 302.3. I expect them to beat that today.
All right, moving on to the Army Black Knights. Head coach J.D. Reed with Carmine Giglio and Jake Bonnet helping out as the assistant coaches. The name of the game this season has been execution for the Army Black Knights, and that is reflected in their average of a 310.858 and a high of a 315.005, which they put up at the USA Gymnastics Collegiate National Championships last weekend.
Next up, we do have the Springfield College, head coached by Matthew Davis, assisted by Cale Donnelly, Norm Bullrice, and Dante Cecile. Now, Springfield, I know, is looking to make a statement today with their average of the season of a 307.15 and their high of a 309.35.
And now we also have Greenville, which is head coached by Zachary Peters. And in their third season, they are looking to win the conference championship today.
Now, Christian, I know that you talked to head coach Zachary Peters. What did he have to say about this meet today?
He said that their entire season was built for this exact meet. It is all on the line today for the Panthers. They have been preparing to peak and win the conference championship, which would be especially exciting because the last time, Navy has won every championship in the ECAC since 2018. The last time they lost was in 2017 to William & Mary. So, if the Panthers can pull out the win today, it would be historic.
That would be a historic win and a takedown of the Naval Academy. We'll see what these guys put up today. I know each of them are looking to fight for that gold.
Absolutely. I mean, Navy is the front runner, and they got so close last time that they saw each other. In a dual meet where the Navy midshipmen hosted, Greenville was actually ahead going into the last meet, and that strong high bar squad managed to pull ahead of the Panthers just barely. So, Navy is not undefeated this season either.
No, they're not. Also, quick note for those watching, we do have one last team, William & Mary as well, head coached by Mike Powell. These guys are starting up on high bar. So I think the meet is taking a start.
Absolutely. So Asad, which do you think is the hardest event to start on and which is the best?
I think the hardest event to start on is either going to be pommel horse or rings. I mean, you do have Greenville starting on pommel right now. Athlete up there, he's making his routine all the way through. You do have Simpson College as well on rings. That is actually really interesting that the host of the conference championships decided to start on one of the hardest events to make a statement, which is the still rings. But, you know, I guess get the hardest done first. What do you think?
My least favorite to start on has always been pommel horse. I need a little more time to get and a stick from Ricky Pism there up on high bar. But sorry, I got distracted by the excellent gymnastics. But yeah, I think starting on parallel bars is my favorite because you get to end on vaults. And really, I just think it's a good way to build momentum for the meet. And so the seeding actually was decided by placement last season at the ECAC Conference Championships. So as Navy won last year, they got to pick where they started first, and then the runner-up picked second, and so on and so forth.
That does make sense on why they're starting on floor today. I do think that starting on floor does give a little bit of edge. It gives a little bit of power, a high start, for the team. As long as these guys land their dismounts, they're getting going for this meet.
Absolutely. And that's what this first event is really about. Of course, every single routine matters, but it is time to build momentum at the beginning of the meet. You got to set a good precedent. So these first leadoff guys were chosen not because, they are doing the least difficult routines, but because they are trusted by their teammates to put up good gymnastics and start the team off right as they battle for that title championship today.
A battle indeed. I mean, I know you and I talked to several of the head coaches of these teams for the conference championship, and a lot of what they reiterated was that it is going to be neck and neck. I mean, we're seeing it with these first initial scores come out on vault from Army at 13.2 to start. I mean, realistically, it is going to be down to the wire.
And as we look at these scores, 13.25 for Will Champagne on Navy on floor, which is an excellent starting score. And Ricky Pism with a huge 13.15 on high bar. I'd keep an eye on a score like that. I mean, around a 9-0 execution, breaking 13 on high bar is very difficult. So that's very well going to look for an all-conference spot, which will be top 6 at the end of the day.
No, that is a great start, especially on such a difficult event like high bar, starting off that well. I know the guys are excited and motivated to watch their teammate do that. Ooh, that was a massive layout to Kacha from your old teammate, William Mary.
Yeah, no, I mean, Evan's excellent on high bar. He's just got a gorgeous body line, taller athlete, and a really important fact to note here is Evan actually broke his back and has missed almost all of the season. His first routine back was last weekend.
Whoa.
Yeah, he took about a week from being cleared to getting back into full high bar routine shape and into lineup. So it's extremely impressive, young man. And another
stick. Dismount.
Oh, yeah, and he's going to lose his mind because he should. That was incredible.
Finish Fort William Mary on high bar.
Yeah, now that, there's stick bonus as well, right? So these landings are especially important because every time that you stick a landing, you get a bonus 10. And, William Mary lost to Navy in a dual meet this season by 6/10. You go back, you stick 6 more landings. That's it.
No. Absolutely. I mean, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the new code changes and what these guys are taking advantage of and what they're not, but just want to point out that beautiful routine from Caleb Palacio on parallel bars. Caleb right now from Springfield College, currently ranked 7th in the all-around in the entire NCAA. He's competing for not only a gold at this meet, but a gold on that event as well.
Caleb's truly a freshman phenom. I mean, that kid he is something else. Powerful, does extremely difficult gymnastics and makes it look easy. And I mean, that double front dismount was, just a perfect example. Double front dismount is an E, which makes it one of the harder dismounts that probably the hardest dismount you'll see at the meet today, unless someone breaks something out that's kind of crazy. But I mean, and he did it well enough to not only kick out, but to kick out and then prepare for the landing as he descended from the sky. It was gorgeous.
No, descended from the sky is a great way to put it. So for those listening, you do have to show control within your landing itself. The judges are looking for that when these guys take that landing. You want to keep your chest up. You want to make sure your arms are up as well to make sure that you show that control. And he did just that.
Yeah, and so also for those of you listening at home, there is a chat available on YouTube. So should you have any questions or like to note anything, please let us know in the chat and we'll do our best to get back to you. Well, and so Evan Wilkins struggling on high bar there, but he managed to pull a giant out. So you might be wondering why he would attempt a giant out of that. And that's because they're super picky about how you receive credit for your release moves on high bar. And when you do a double back over the bar like that, historically you've had to giant out in order to receive credit. Now, I believe that might have been changed in this most recent code, but anything to keep the momentum of your high bar routine going. I mean, once you hop off the bar, the lactic acid starts to build up. You start to feel how tired you are from the work you've been doing. So to keep it swinging like that is difficult, but it was a good effort. Sometimes you got to make these routines happen.
No, you are absolutely right. In the code, they have you do have to swing all the way out of whatever skill in order to get credit for it. So he did do that in order to get that credit for that Kovacs. So it does look like we have Alex Campbell on pommel horse for Greenville right now.
Greenville's such a strong horse squad.
Absolutely, their horse squad has been really, really good this season. I've been doing that D dismount right there. Yeah.
Oh, that was fantastic. The way he swung that straight up into the handstand, and then the pirouettes. I mean, they flowed like water. That was gorgeous.
Absolutely. Now, that just finished as one of the star studs on the Naval Academy, Brian Solomon, up on floor. He did have a little bit of a bounce on that dismount, but the rest of their team was pretty stellar. There's so much gymnastics going on today. What are you most excited to see today, Christian?
Well, I'm getting ready to get real hype for Luke Tully's high bar. I mean, he's fantastic. Luke Tully actually has the highest single high bar score in the ECAC across the whole conference, with 13.65 this season. This freshman is truly outstanding on this event. But I'm also excited because Brian Rollison from Simpson is getting ready to go on rings. And my goodness, do I love his set. He is strong, he swings well, and he's upgraded that dismount. It makes it look easy. So as a rings guy myself, I'm a big fan to the guys who can make it all happen.
Now you got me excited. I'm making sure I'm watching. So for those listening, that's up in the right-hand corner of the stream.
Yeah, and Luke Tully smashed that routine out of the park. Great job picking back up, even though Evan Wilkins had that slight mishap. And he also got the stick. That's 3 for 4 sticks on high bar. And if, the tribe wants to win today, that's how they're going to make it happen. Working together as a team, sticking these landings, and executing.
No, absolutely. So I'm curious, Christian, what are your thoughts on the new code with the way that these guys, get the double credit on the dismount value? What do you think? Do you think that some of these guys are going to start taking advantage of it?
Oh, I am super biased. For those of you listening at home, I competed for William and Mary. I was a 2-time rings conference champion, and that was due in large part to my rings dismount, which was a triple back rated at a G value. So had I received double the value of the skill because I was getting 7 times for the skill and the element group, I am biased in that I would love that. I love the boost, and I like that it pushes gymnasts to, go for that higher difficulty.
No, I fully agree with that. I know that he is starting up on rings right now. I do just want to quickly point out that we do have Isaiah Drake on floor, up in the top hand column. He is a shoe-in to not only win the all-around of this meet, but he is just a stellar athlete on the floor today.
Absolutely. Isaiah is another one of those athletes who is almost unreal at how good he is at gymnastics. I mean, everything he does is so confident, executed well, and he's not sacrificing difficulty to make it look that good.
No, absolutely. Now, I mean, speaking of rings, like you were saying, Brad Rollison over here, I mean, every single one of these rings, static strengths, he's held for those 3 seconds, and they've all been flat. And a nice double-double, a little bit shaky on that dismount, but no, he put it to his feet. I know the team is excited.
Absolutely, and if that routine looked hard, I just want you to know it is. I mean, it's just like to freeze like that repeatedly, 3 times in a row as he did the uprise straight flange, the lower to Maltese, the uprise Maltese afterwards. I mean, it's truly an otherworldly strength that requires to then, not only do it itself, but then do 5 skills afterwards and a double-double, let alone to get off the rings. And so Brian's going to put up probably the highest difficulty today on rings, I believe, with a 4.9 difficulty score, although Elijah Cruz from Greenville will not be very far behind. He is a very strong young man, and I look forward to watching what he's got in this next rotation.
No, we do have a couple of these studs just on each of the teams that are just stellar on their individual events, like you just mentioned on rings. I mean, honestly, I have no idea who's even contending for these golds because we just have so many incredible athletes.
Absolutely. So how about you take us through the first rotation scores, Asad?
So on floor exercise, we did see the Naval Academy put up a 39 points. I mean, that's a pretty great. That's without Isaiah Drake's score right there. So on pommel horse for Greenville, they ended with a 50.4. 13.4, 13.5 from Matthew Roth and Andres Garza. Not bad at all. On rings, we did see the Simpson College end with a 49.8. 211s, 213s, they're starting off strong. Army on vault with 4 13s. They're all doing very, very well. The highest individual score of the event so far for a team, a 54.3. I mean, that does make sense. You know, vault does tend to score a little bit high, even with the new code change. Springfield ending with a 48.7 on parallel bars, and on horizontal bar, William & Mary closed out with a 51.05. I do want to point out that William & Mary getting a 51.05 on high bar as their first event is actually very impressive, and that's a very good score. So I think William & Mary is starting off very strong.
Yeah, no, that's, I mean, it's difficult to break 13 on high bar, so to have 2 athletes who can do so between Ricky and Luke, I mean, and they've really been going back and forth all season. I mean, last week at the USAG Championships, Ricky Pism got second and Luke third, or maybe reverse, but those two have been neck and neck on high bar all season, and it's good to have someone who can push you like that in the gym. So, and I just want to point out, Brian Rollison's score is in, and as much as I love his routine, there's a bit of an upset there. He was the lead man on rings this season, coming in with a 4-score average of a 13.433, and he has been bested by his teammate, Alex Campbell. So anything can happen today. I mean, Riley Rose from Navy was the rings conference champion last season, and we'll see if he swings it today to defend his title.
No, like you just pointed out for Brian Rollison on rings, I mean, with that execution, I mean, with the start value of a 4.9, scoring a 13.1, I do think the judges heavily deducted on that dismount with the way that he had landed. I mean, although it was a massive dismount, a double-double, he landed with a bit of a hop and his chest down. I mean, that's where the judges are taking everything. Every 10th counts at this meet.
Yeah, that lack of preparation for landing deduction can be brutal, because obviously, you know, if you don't stick your landing, you're taking a step, and these steps are deductions. But the fact that if you do not show proper extension and preparation for the floor, that you receive a bonus deduction, I mean, on a landing that you keep upright, you can take a 3/10 step, and the judges can say that you weren't prepared enough for landing and take an additional 3/10, right? So even though you took 1 step on your landing, you lost 6/10 on that one skill.
I mean, that's more than what the skill is even worth in the first place. So, like, you have to be prepared. I mean, that's putting in the numbers that I know these guys have been doing every single day throughout the preseason. So hopefully we'll see some better landing, some more preparation as we continue on with the meet. But as the next event starts in rotation too, we have William & Mary starting off on floor, Navy on pommel horse, Greenville on rings, vault Simpson College, Army on parallel bars, and Springfield finish up on high bar. I mean, out of these events right now, what are some of the standout guys that you see on these lineups today, Christian?
Absolutely. So I'm just going to go in Olympic order here. Evan Wilkins is the lead man on floor, with also the highest single score of any athlete in the ECAC with a 14.2 and a 4-score average of a 13.7. So Evan Wilkins absolutely stands to take the floor title today if he hits like he can. Moving on to pommel horse, I mean, Navy's pommel horse is so strong. The ECAC is very strong on horse in general this season. Greenville has a great squad. Army has a great squad. Springfield's real strong on horse. And, you know, Navy is right up there with the best of them. So moving to rings, I mentioned Elijah Cruz is going to do one of the best ring sets that we're going to see today. He absolutely is in contention for that rings championship title. Although I will point out, Isaiah Drake from Navy has the single highest score of any athlete in the ECAC on rings. But moving to vault. Yeah. Moving to vault. Yeah, we're going to see Brian again in the all-around spot. Great athlete. And Simpson's going to hit vault. I mean, it's a higher scoring event, so they're just going to look to execute as best as they can in the air. There's, you know, less parity on vault specifically, unless you're pushing those really difficult vaults. But also want to put a special shout out for Braxton Jones, who is #1 in the conference on vault with a gorgeous vault. You know, that'll be an absolute treat to watch. Moving to parallel bars, I'm going to be biased and shout out my club teammate Jacob Brenner, who grew up with me at Preston Gymnastics before I graduated. And so he'll have a great P-bar set, but really the focus will be on Connor Heary, who's probably going to do one of, if not the most difficult parallel bar sets today. He was the highest parallel bar scorer in the country last week, I believe, at the USA Gymnastics Championships, and he is ranked first in the ECAC on the event, so he is not to be messed with. He absolutely stands to win today. And then moving to high bar, I mean, what couldn't I point out on Springfield's high bar? Owen Carney is a masterful high bar worker. Felix Creedman has also got some gorgeous work. Jaden Lobstein, we're going to see again. Caleb Palacio, oh my goodness. Once again, talking about power, precision, he's such a treat to watch. So there's going to be a lot of fun gymnastics in this next rotation. I mean, and some people who very well in the beginning part of the meet might put up a score that lasts and wins them the conference title.
No, I completely agree. It looks like they have already started. So, oh no, this is just their warm up still. So these guys are getting is it a 5-touch warm up now? 5-minute warm up?
I'm actually not especially familiar with the new championship format. They switched it, and there's also some variation that you can do now. It's not as uniform, so I'm not sure what they're playing around with today.
Either way, it does look like they're wrapping up this one touch right now. William Mary's getting started. They're about to raise their hand on floor. This athlete, Nico from William Mary, I do think this will be a fun routine to watch. I mean, you can hear in the background, Christian, that everyone's getting so excited. The crowd is loud.
Oh, absolutely. And you got to feed off that energy as well, right? You got to take that energy and, fuel it towards your routine. And if, that doesn't work for you, I guess you got to block it out. But to be fair, it's super easy to, tune it all out once you start competing. You can hear your heartbeat and just feel the rhythm of your routine.
Oh, absolutely. I want to quickly point out in the top right-hand corner, Ricky Mays for Greenville on rings. I mean, each of those straight planches were tabletop straight, and he held those for 3 seconds apiece. I do think this is going to be a great score for him.
Oh, we're getting some German giants on high bar from Jaden. Love to see the unique skills coming out. It's tough to have that flexibility and that full body weight on your shoulders like that.
No, absolutely. It's interesting with this new code. I feel like we haven't really seen too many of those German giants that much, but I love it when the guys throw out those unique skills here and there.
On parallel bars, we've got Noah Duran absolutely cooking through his set, making sure to prioritize that Army execution. Army, I keep mentioning it, and it's, difficult to overstate how well Army has done executing their routines this season. Army has consistently been one of, if not the highest E-scores in the entire nation every week this season.
That is an impressive stat. I actually did not know that. I mean, hey, if you focus on your execution score, then you are a shoo-in to do well.
Absolutely. So, it's just interesting the way the math plays out, right? Because Navy or Greenville will have the highest D scores of the day, right? And when you have over a point in D score over another team, you essentially have a whole fault built into your routine, built into your meet for the day, right? Before the other team can catch up on you. Because, it's just so difficult to, catch up in execution, but it comes with risk, right? And so Army has definitely been playing into that, keep it clean and keep it on. And it's been working very well for them. They placed second at the USA Gymnastics Collegiate Championships last week.
No, that is huge, and it does make sense, right? Some of these coaches are so good at the numbers game and working the code the way that they need to. So, you don't even have to have the highest difficulty score, but if your execution is up there and you're not taking anything off, you're doing better than the guy that has the most difficult skills in the competition.
Absolutely.
So it looks like this is Sergey Popov for Greenville on rings up in the right-hand corner. A little bit shy of that 3-second hold on that Maltese, but he's still pushing through.
Yeah, and the deductions for that can be wicked. There is no, you almost held it, for the full 2 seconds deduction. What they do is they just, any short hold, even if it's short by a millisecond, is an automatic 3/10 deduction.
You see that dismount that he just did, way better than his previous teammate, Ricky Mays. He landed that a little bit chest down, but he only took one small step. No, not much deduction there. That's what we need to keep seeing.
This midshipman is swinging out of his mind on pommel horse right now. This is a great set. Nice extension. Let's hope he gets his dismount up. Pop it, pop it. Great work, man.
There it is. No, right in line with that. I don't know if you saw Keo Palacio do that double straight off of high bar and stuck that dismount. The judge did raise up that green flag. That was a great dismount for Springfield. There's so much gymnastics going on. 6 screens at once.
Absolutely, it is both very fun and hard to figure out like what to watch. I mean, trying to get it all in. Cash Johnson has been absolutely phenomenal for Army this year. When I had the chance to speak to JD Reeve, he named this athlete specifically as one of the backbones of this team, doing lots of gymnastics for the Black Knights and doing it well.
That was a crazy save from Cash on P-bars. I have not seen a guy bend that far back in a long time.
Seriously. And then finishing up with a nice clean double pike.
I love those double pikes. I think they just look so clean and so nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think the double fronts are great, but a nice double pike, it's like some whipped cream on top of some good hot chocolate.
I was impartial to the double front group, but I don't know. I mean, I say I don't know why. I was really bad at back dismounts in club. I mean, it's difficult to move your body sideways like that as you flip backwards. And I swear I hit my head on the rail probably every time I dismounted for like a year straight. And the moment I was allowed to go forward, I did. So I did double front in college, and I got pretty good at it by the end. But just to make sure I could, I went back and learned double pike, and I will agree, it's just a pretty skill.
No, that's so funny because I was the exact opposite. Anytime I do that double front, I've landed right back on the bars. So, everyone has their different style altogether. Quickly pointing out, Braxton Jones did just do a massive 2.5 on vault with one tiny step. That's huge for Sims in college.
Elijah Cruz pulling out of the cross. Sorry to cut you off. I just want everyone to watch that elevator sequence. It is so difficult to do a cross pull generally. Right, to overcome, gravity that way, the momentum pulling you downwards, and to do so late in your routine, I mean, that is just like Superman level strength.
Back again with those dismounts, Greenville's just losing those tenths here and there. I do agree that elevator sequence was very, very impressive. That does take a lot of strength. I mean, these guys are putting in the numbers. But those dismounts, they have to get those right to their feet. Another good double full from Brian Rollison from Simpson College on vault.
And judging from the score, it looks like they took a full fall on Cash Johnson for that back bend rollover.
It's going to be a little bit of a hit to the Army, but I know they'll bounce back. Like you said, JD.
No, my boy Jacob Brenner's getting ready to go on pillow bars, and then they have the absolute tank Connor Geary to come up and fix it for him later. So this is how you work together as a team, even when you have those setbacks.
You know how it goes. As with the team, you build off the momentum of the next guy that just went right before you, and as long as you pick it right back up, you clean your mind. All is in the past.
And freshman Luke Tully. Oh, no, go ahead, Asad.
No, I was going to say, it does look like the lineup for rotation 2 for William & Mary only has 3 guys on floor. I could be... Oh, no, we do have 4 guys. So Evan Wilkinson and Luke Tully right now.
Yeah, that's right. So, Wilkins will anchor. And it looks like we got Elijah Cruz to score in. I mean, they are making you work for it on rings. Came in at about a 12-4.
No, these ring judges are taking every single tenth. I mean, it does make sense, right? We're in a conference championship. This is where they judge just a little bit harder. They're taking every single tenth that they can. So, I mean, these guys have to be crisp execution to get the score that they want. Oh, I love that, the double layout dismount where they kick out a little bit. I mean, again with that landing, but still, nice dismount from Greenville.
I'm a lover of the double layout dismount on rings, but they judge it so tough a lot of the time it's not worth it.
No, because if you don't kick out, they don't give you the full credit for it.
Absolutely. They will just throw you a double pike, which is 1/10 lower than you need it to be, and call it a day. And actually, not even that. If they give you the double pike, they'll probably also deduct for an indistinct position, right? Not being piked enough. Not, 2 pike to receive layout credit, but not piked enough to be a pike. So you lose the value of the skill, and then you get deducted. It's just how those deductions can really pile up on you.
Nah, I mean, the name of the game for this meet, right, is execution, like you mentioned before. So it does look like we have Connor Healy up on parallel bars for Army next. Whoa, that was a beautiful Bobzar. Wow, that floated above the parallel bars.
Well, there's a reason this man is #1 in the conference.
Yeah, that was actually beautiful. That was a world-class Bobzar right there. A little
Connor's
shaky
well
on the
known for his
belt.
execution.
I can tell. Yeah, that was a good routine. I like that. That's going to be a big
on
score.
Here. Watch this. Huge gymnastics. Full twisting double A. That skill is now an F. I mean,
it makes sense, right? With only 8 skills as part of the routines now, you're seeing a lot of these guys put in much more difficulty because they don't have to do 10 skills now. So we're seeing some bigger skills across the board. The only thing that I'm not the biggest fan of on floor, and I'm sure anyone that's heard me commentate any other meet, is the scale. I don't know what the FIG was thinking when they put that in, but maybe it gives the guy time to breathe a little bit.
There you go. Good save from Evan. So you'll see his 2.5 went a little high there, which made it difficult to punch into the layout. So he'll get deducted for, a lack of elevation on the layout, but finding the landing and the stick nonetheless was huge. Just a dismount left.
Wow.
Woo! I mean, that set is so difficult. Yeah, and great pop-off. I know he wanted to hit that. Evan's just such an interesting athlete, right? Because when, he started training this set, I was like, dude, this is so much big gymnastics. Like, can you do this all in the same routine? And he looked me dead in my eyes and said, nah, bro, this stuff is so easy. And when you compete like that, how can you disagree?
No, absolutely. Some of these guys are just absolute powerhouses like him. When they do these numbers, you know how it goes. It just becomes such muscle memory that you're not even thinking about it anymore. I'm impressed that their Achilles, their ACLs are staying in place with those high-flying skills.
And knock on wood, don't want to jinx them.
No, absolutely. Knocking on my desk right now. Great second rotation. We're seeing some big scores from William Mary on floor. 12-3, 12-8, 13-1, 13-4. Navy did have a little bit of a hiccup on their first guy on pommel horse, Jonah. But, we'll take a look at parallel bars right now with Jaden.
Jaden, who got the green light only on Thursday, that he is going to get to do all around today. But it makes sense. He's a great athlete. He's on 3 events in the lineup, and it's hard to explain, the honor of being able to compete all around for your team. And, he's being trusted with that responsibility because he's put in the work.
No, I definitely agree with that, right? When you're put in the all-around spot, every single 10th, every routine counts. And arguably, it's a challenging meet to do. Especially with 4-up-4 count, they're moving so much quicker across each event. So props to any of the guys that are doing all-around today.
All right. So, Asad, can you take us through the event recap again?
Absolutely. So on floor, like I just mentioned, a 51.75 from William and Mary, 2 12s, 2 13s. I'd say that's a pretty good start on floor. On pommel horse for Navy, they did have a little bit of a rocky start with Jonah Soltz with a 10-8, but picked it right back up. Matthew Petros with a 13-5-5, finishing up with 2 12s from Daniel and Brian Solomon. Isaiah Drake's score hasn't come in yet. I believe he is doing all around for today's meet, contending for another ECAC championship title. On rings from Greenville, like you had mentioned earlier, Christian, Ricky Mays, powerhouse, those great static elements, 12-3-5, Sergey 12-3, Elijah Cruz 12-4, and Ethan Pohl 12-4. Wow, those were all almost identical scores, so we know that these guys have a consistency across the board, a 49.4. We did see an adjustment of the change while I was going through it, so it finished up with a 49.4. On vault from Simpson College, 13-4 from Milo Stancy, Jake Smith with a 13-6, Alex Campbell 13-3, Braxton Jones with a big 14.1. You know, it's interesting, we're not really seeing too many 14s on vault anymore with the downgrading of the skills, so it's actually really nice to see Braxton put up a 14. Army with starting off with Noah Duran 12-7, team score 50.9, Cass Johnson, small fall 11.85, and then finishing up with 2 13s like you had mentioned, Connor Heary, well-deserved 13.35 on parallel bars. I do think that's one of the highest we're seeing for today. Again, we're only 2 rotations in, but I think that score will stand for Connor Heary on parallel bars. And last but not least, Springfield, they had a little bit of a tough start on high bar. 4 12s. We did get 2 1-12-8 from Caleb Palacio and a 12-9-5, just shy of a 13 from Owen Carney. A 50.35 is not a bad finishing score for Springfield on high bar. It does look like right now Army is in the lead after rotation 2, a 105.2. Simpson just right behind them with a 104.25. William & Mary with a 102.8. Navy with a 102.0. And Springfield with a 98.95. And Greenville with a 99. Wow. This is crazy second rotation. I did not expect Army to be in first place.
Yeah, and you got to keep an eye as we move through the meet on what events these athletes have competed, as some events score higher than others, right? So Army and Simpson have now gotten to vault, and vault being the highest scoring event in men's gymnastics typically. They, that gives them a boost, right? So we got to keep an eye as things equalize, because we're really not going to know who's going to win until like the last possible moment of this meet. So it's going to be exciting. And to bring you through just the individual standings for just a little bit on each event, Evan Wilkins is currently leading floor with a 13.45, huge 4-9 difficulty, tied for the highest we've seen so far today. On pommel horse, Matthew Petros with a 13.55, well, 905 execution, which is extremely hard to do on pommel horse, especially with this judging panel. They are sticklers, so Matthew did fantastic. Moving on to rings, Alex Campbell from Simpson, that first rotation, still in the lead so far with a 13.2. On vault of court, Mr. Braxton Jones with a 14.1. Parallel bars, Mr. Connor Heary, our ECAC leader on this event, once again out in front with a 13.35. And on high bar, William & Mary's Ricky Pism with a 13.15, who once again was the very first routine of the meet. So, this is going to be very fun to watch the last possible moment. I mean, Navy is so strong on high bar. They can just come through and absolutely shake up the standings as they exist right now.
Now, like you had mentioned earlier, a couple weeks ago, Navy did go neck and neck with Greenville on all 5 rotations. They got right to high bar, and they showed out and jumped a 3-point gap to take the lead. So you're right. I do think that watching Navy on high bar will be a really good time today. But it does look like Army is on high bar next. Floor, Springfield, pommel horse, William & Mary, rings, Navy, vault, Greenville, and parallel bar, Simpson College. We're going into third rotation, guys. You know, I'm looking at some of these names. I think Will Wilson is definitely going to be a standout from Springfield on floor today.
Oh, he's got some big gymnastics. He's another one of those powerful tumblers. He's going to get some crazy height today.
No, absolutely. Ricky Pism from William & Mary on pommel. Thinking Jake Prabhat on Army on high bar. I think that is definitely going to be a routine to watch. He's up third. I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but definitely wanting to point that out for those of you guys watching.
So you'll notice that while Isaiah competed pommel horse, his score did not count toward the team. It gets to count towards his all around. And I mean, so it gives, the athletes the benefit of being able to compete all around without, some of their weaker events being forced to count for the team. But it looks like we are swinging now into this next rotation.
And so remind everyone watching today, Christian, why are these guys doing all around? It's not just for an ECAC conference title, right? They want to get that score for an NCAA championship berth, right?
Exactly. So in the event that your team does not qualify to NCAA championships, there is also the option available to qualify as an individual, right? And so in order to do that, you need to have like 3 or 4 scores from the regular season, or 4 scores from the regular season, and then you also need to have an all-around score at conference, right? So it's a good way of having a backup in the event that your team does not qualify. And backup makes it sound easy, though. Competing all around is so difficult, not only just physically but mentally, to stay engaged that long and just train that hard.
No, absolutely. Finishing up from Springfield on floor. Will Wilson is hype. That was a great routine. Started off with a great double-double. Finished up with that double flipping element, and he just got his team excited. I personally feed off of that, even just talking about the meet. I love it, see these guys get so hyped when they finish up a routine like that.
Oh, for sure. Will Wilson, she's just such a good guy, fun guy. And that energy is just infectious. He's kind of one of the people who just by stepping on the mat, everyone's having a better time.
Oh, absolutely. One of the other standouts for this rotation I want to point is going to be Isaiah Drake on rings. He's anchoring that event, so he's doing all around, but he is going to have that score count. I do think that'll be a routine to watch.
And I agree. Once again, the highest single score of any athlete on the ECAC belongs to Isaiah Drake on rings.
Wow, a ring score is the highest of the ECAC? That's actually really interesting.
No, although it was close, no, I meant specifically on rings.
Oh, on rings. That makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah. I believe the highest score in the ECAC belongs to freshman Connor Barrow, who put up the highest score in the ECAC on vault, 4th highest in the nation, I believe, even to date, when he stuck his Yurchenko 2.5.
Speaking of 2.5s, we did just see Greenville from Braden Erickson put up a beautiful 2.5. I mean, watching such a young team like Greenville have such big gymnastics like that, I mean, it not only gets me excited, but it's just really, really cool to see them compete at this level. So I'm definitely rooting for Greenville a bit here to keep showing out.
Man, that difficulty push was well rewarded. Look at that big 14.0 score.
Yeah, and that's a big score for Brian Erickson. Braden Erickson.
It looks like Jared Neumann for William & Mary just hit the 2nd pommel horse routine in a row, which is great for them. This has been oh, wow.
Wow. You saw that vault too, right?
Yeah, I am speechless. He's losing his mind, dude. Man, if I did a vault like that, you'd see my mugshot on the news the next morning from celebrating. That was fantastic.
I love it. We got to get the Greenville guys to do a graphic of that. But Jackson Clapper with a 2.5 back-to-back for Greenville. Mind you, Greenville only has 3 classes right now. They don't even have a senior class. So that's just really, really cool.
Oh, no, that was tremendous.
Oh, we're seeing the scale from Evan Reichart on Springfield for floor. He did hold that for 3 seconds. It's interesting. We haven't seen any of the Y scales today. We've only been seeing the single leg.
Yeah, no. It seems to be more common, but is this Ricky Mays tearing down the vault runway?
And another 2.5. That's crazy.
Cooking up on floor, man. Vault, man.
Wow, 3 back-to-back 2.5s that were, barely deducted. That is huge for Greenville. Props to them.
If I had a nickel for every time I watched Ricky Mays vaults and, just wanted to spend the next 3 minutes praising him, I would have enough money to have bought a flight to Indianola.
Next time we'll make it out, Christian. No, I love it. So we do have, I believe that's Army on high bar right now. Big Takachev. This is Jake Prabhan. Yes. Great dismount. to your point, Luke Tully on pommel horse for William & Mary. A little bit of leg separation on that travel, picking it right back up.
Momentum. Yeah, it's hard for me to even focus while they're on horse. I'm getting like second hands like anxiety. I'm sweating just thinking about competing pommel horse again. I'm wondering if that'll ever go away.
You know what's interesting? We just saw Luke finish up with a triple Russian. He flared up that dismount. Definitely got that great credit. But seeing these meets throughout this season, I haven't really seen too many of the triple Russian connection on pommel horse. So that's really cool to see them bring it back and do that as a dismount.
Yeah, you can't receive full value for the Russian dismounts anymore, right? You do a Russian dismount, you're capped at a C for the skill and 3 times for the element group. So while you're not capitalizing on, difficulty, so to speak, the pommel horse dismount is easily the most deducted skill on pommel horse. And I could even make an argument for in gymnastics. There are like literally 27 different tenths you can take on just a pommel horse dismount. And if you mess it up bad enough, they literally make you redo it. I mean, so if you can get away with just doing a triple Russian and making sure it's tight and that you are getting on and off with that much deduction, then why would you not? Because, if you have a teammate who does a press, they go up and they show a little bit of strength, boom, 3 to 5 tenths gone.
No, absolutely. That does make sense. I would say the second most deducted skill out of anyone is going to be the handstand on rings. I don't know if you just saw rings, the Navy gentleman, Brian Solomon, he did have a little bit of a struggle on that handstand. And I mean, that's where the judges are going to be taking it. And Navy can't afford to lose any tenths today.
They can be absolutely violent judging you on rings, man. It is crazy how high the standard of perfection is.
No, absolutely.
Ooh, huge triple back from Joseph Buselmeyer.
Did you see his Kovacs in the middle as well? This is some big releases.
Oh, he's a big swinger. Speaking of big swingers, Sam Smith finishing up pommel horse for the Tribe. Coming back from a torn UCL this season. That is his second routine at all this season. A fantastic hit for the Tribe. And I mean, it just looks great while he does it. Super tall athlete at 6'2", which I believe actually might make him the tallest athlete in the NCAA. But
wow. Those are some stats I did not know about him. That's great. Also, one of my favorite artists is Sam Smith, so a little bit of bias there. I think that is that's great for him, and especially competing pommel horse at the championships for his team. I'm sure that was really exciting and heartwarming, coming back from that UCL tear.
Absolutely, and straight into lineup in a championship meet.
Okay, the routine to watch: Caleb Palacio on floor.
Oh yeah, this man's gonna scrape the ceiling.
Yeah, he does. He gets so much height. Starts off, I believe, with a double-double. Oh, nope. Full double front. So much power.
And if you can, try to keep an eye on Isaiah Drake in the right corner as well, moving through his rings routine.
Well, both these guys are showing. I mean, these guys together, the two that we're watching right now, are the ones that are contending for the ECAC title today. Hey. I love that. Wow, that is a beautiful handstand from Isaiah Drake. No
really movement,
wings turned out.
2.5 side pass stick for Caleb.
Just a miss, barely for Isaiah on that dismount on rings.
I absolutely think that can punch above a 13-2 to take the lead.
I can see it. No, what do you think of... Oh, I get they just moved the stream, but I was going to say, what do you think of the double flipping dismount on floor?
Another one where I'm biased. I don't think I love it as a requirement, personally. I like it as an option. I could even see it being incentivized. I'm more of a carrot than a stick kind of guy, generally speaking. But I dismounted with a double tuck. I did it in high school, and I did it when I completed 4 in college. I find it just super easy to, speed up, yuck my knees over my shoulders and get, put it down. It's pretty easy to stick. So I don't love it as a requirement, but I can see pushing it, just to make the routines more exciting and get some more variety going.
No, I fully agree with that. That was a great routine from Jake Smith on parallel bars from Simpson College. He did put his hands down just barely on that dismount. I don't think they'll take a full point, maybe just 5 tenths. But nice finish up from Simpson.
And the judges will be looking for whether or not he had support on his hands, right, when they touched the floor. If there was no support on his hands, just the 5/10. But if they decide that he did have weight or pressure on his hands, then they take the full point as a fall.
No, that's good pointing out for everyone watching today. Taking us through the event summary. Christian, you want to take it away?
Yeah, let's do it. Springfield had a good floor rotation, and it looks like Mr. Evan Wilkins from William & Mary has been dethroned by Owen Carney with a 13.6 to take first place. William & Mary has struggled this season on pommel horse, but they went 4 for 4 hits, and they will be happy enough with that, especially with some changes in the lineup after one of their best athletes, their previous anchor, actually got injured early in the week and is unable to compete. And so working together as a team there to, minimize and hit, work through together. Moving to rings, Isaiah Drake is in now with taking the lead with a 13.35. Moving to vault, I would not be surprised if Greenville had the highest team vault score of the day with a 14.25 and a 14.3. That's giant gymnastics, and they did it so well. Look at those execution scores.
Yeah,
right?
That's huge. A 56.15 for vault for Greenville. That's huge, and they should be very proud.
Yeah, 2.5 is about the hardest vault that you'll see, at any given college meet mostly. There's only barely a handful of athletes who can do more than a 2.5. And they have, 3 of their 4 guys on lineup doing just about the hardest vaults you'll see in the country and doing them very well. Moving to parallel bars, we had Eric Simon with a 12.2, Alex Campbell with a 12.35, and a stick. Brian Rollison with an 11.2, and Alex Cashpool with a 12.65, and in the all-around spot, Jake Smith with an 11.75. Then moving through high bar, Army doing what they do best, executing. Cash Johnson with a 12.7 from a 13.7, that 9-0 execution. Jaden Blank with a 12.85, they're all-arounder. Jake with a 13.1 from a 13.9 and a stick. Wow, that's above a 9.0 E-score, incredible. And Joseph Buselmeyer, who did that big Kovacs, the big triple back for a 12.7.
Wow. Coming out of the third rotation, Army is still in first. I would not have guessed that at all. That is amazing for the Dark Knights. That is crazy. 156.550, and then Greenville in second with a 155.95. Navy right behind them in third with a 152.95. Simpson College with a 152.75 in the fourth. Springfield with a 152.550. And in sixth place at the moment, William & Mary with a 151.3. These scores are right next to each other. It's really anyone's game. I think we'll definitely see Navy pick up in this next rotation. But watching Army stand as the leader in the team score for 3 rotations in a row, very impressive on their end.
Absolutely, and I also spoke too soon about Owen Carney taking the lead spot on floor as Caleb Palacio scores in, the freshman with a 13.65 to take the lead on floor exercise. Matthew Petros is still in first on pommel horse. Isaiah Drake managed to take the lead on rings with a 13.45. Vault, Ricky Mays with a 14.3. Connor Heery still maintaining first on parallel bars with a 13.35. And Ricky Pism, first routine of the meet for William & Mary with a 13.15, still in the lead on high bar.
A big gymnastics today.
Oh, and Isaiah score up 1/10, 13.45. Looks like there's an inquiry.
I wonder what that inquiry is about.
It's easy to miss a temp here and there in start value. Sometimes you forget what a skill's worth, or, you just miss something.
Yeah. No, remind me again, and for those listening, Christian, so how many inquiries does a coach get per meet? Is it based off per season? Is it per athlete? Talk to me about that.
I believe, there's a limit. It's per meet. I think you get a maximum of 3, but if you lose 2 inquiries, then you can't inquire again.
Wow, okay. So they've already used 1 and they won, so they got 2 more left.
Yeah, no, and in a meet where I mentioned, they had a meet where they beat William & Mary by 6 tenths earlier in the season, so every 10 counts today. And you can't inquire on behalf of another team, right? If you notice that one team got additional start value or something to that effect, right? You can't say, hey, judge, no, they should be a 10th lower. So really, it's all you can do to be proactive on your side and, hold the judges accountable to making sure those scores are what they should be. All right, we're beginning halfway through the meet. So, yeah, William and Mary is in 6 as of right now, but Rings and Vault are very strong events for them, and, Vault is high scoring as it is. So expect them to be moving up in the rankings as we come through these next couple events.
No, definitely agree.
From the athlete on floor for Army.
As we're watching the athlete on floor, I know Simpson just had a little bit of a hiccup on high bar, but he finished that up great.
Exactly. Looks pretty similar to Evan Wilkins' mishap, but we saw he still broke a 12, right? So it's not a devastating miss as long as you work through the rest of your team well.
No, absolutely. Oh, there's that Y scale. I'm starting to be a little bit more biased towards the Y scale. I think it just looks a little bit cleaner.
I'd probably agree with you. I think I'm still generally anti-scale. I don't like it as a requirement. I think if you choose to put one in artistically, that is up to you. And some people can make it look really good. I don't know how necessary it is, but it ended up being a compromise between FIG and the athletes, I guess. I believe the original proposal was for a dance pass or some sort of artistry element to improve or increase artistry in men's floor. And the scale ended up being the compromise down from the dance pass. But
I'm just impartial to the flares on floor, the air flares that Fred Richards does. I just think they look so cool. I'd prefer to see those in the scale, but I'm not the one at FIG making those changes.
You can get down with a breakdancing requirement. That could be pretty cool.
No, absolutely. We did just see, I believe it was Matthew Petros on vault for Navy. That was a nice big double full. Should be a good score coming in for him.
Springfield swinging through on horse. Big shown in the routine.
This is Brian Rollinson. No. I apologize. It's Gio Mataya.
Didn't I just spin up the handstand? That's an important part. All right, and to highlight one routine that's about to occur, Jonathan Irwin, who was a freshman when I was a senior on the team, is incredibly strong. We have worked together very closely on the strength that you're about to see. And so while he is competing it's probably like 70-30 me, him doing these skills, really. I did the lion's share of the work, but of course I'm kidding. Look at how beautiful that Maltese was. Flat, held well. It's going to uprise into a cross now. He's frozen in air. So sturdy. He's so strong in a cross position. He's put so much work into this routine, and the details really show themselves in these strength positions.
I think William Mary has done just a really good job in general of perfecting execution throughout this season. Mike Powell, big shout out to you.
Or cross. That's a bit of a unique skill. You get a B if you go directly from the iron cross to a back lever like that. He also dismounts a bit unorthodox. He's going to pump dislocate here. But if he can control it... Oh my goodness gracious.
That was a nice dismount.
Bang, that was fantastic. Good job, John. Hey, John, actually, this is her third meet competing rings for the tribe ever. And he looks like a seasoned competitor. That was gorgeous.
Oh, that was easily a seasoned competitor type of routine. He did not have any exactly how he did too. I think we did just see Isaiah Drake do a 2.5 on vault for Navy. That was a big 2.5. He actually just went out of the video cam.
He's very good at that vault. He was very nice execution in the air.
So I believe this is Jake Smith on high bar for Simpson College. Huge layout, just a little bit of not the best catch, but that's okay. Picking it right back up. That one was way better. Shout out to Kachev. Well, L Giants there. Into a one arm. See what he dismounts. Nice double lay. Small hop. Great routine for Jake Smith on high bar.
So, Asad, when you competed, what events were you big on? What were your specialties?
I would say floor and vault. At UIC, I did get an opportunity to compete all around a few times, once actually at Springfield. But when I transferred up to Cal, it was mainly just a vault and floor specialist. But, I mean, they were really fun. I did train all around in the gym with everybody. I'm sure the famous mishap of NCAA is where I did the wrong vault. But, no, it was a good time. I do miss it. I miss being out there.
It's a beautiful understatement. Did the wrong vault. Which vault did you normally compete in? Which vault did you end up doing?
It was at the NCAA Championships 2018. I was supposed to do a back 2.5. I tripped on the runway and did a hand double front. I did get to my feet. I got full credit. It was not a bad score. Don't think the coach was happy, but you know, Charlie Nelson, I love you to death. I'm so sorry about that. It was a mishap, I promise.
Literally cannot imagine accidentally throwing a different vault that difficult and making it work mid-air. But it looks like Jonathan Irwin scores in at a 13.05 from only a 3.9 difficulty. So I mean, that is super high on execution. More than did his job. And Nico greenly swinging through his set now. Nico is actually an NCAA finalist on this event, making finals with a 13.7 last season as a freshman. He's,
you can tell from those Yamawakis, those were massive and beautifully done.
Big double. Yep, he's going to be happy with that, and he should be. Oh, Peach half coming out on P-bars. That's huge gymnastics. Those skills are so difficult. Into the Peach hand. This is very high level underbar work.
Jackson Clapper on parallel bars for Greenville.
Double front coming up here. And just the hop forward. He popped that all the way up. That was huge.
Yeah, that was actually really nice. I did like that. Greenville's showing out today. I think they're, like you had said, you talked to head coach Zach Peters. He mentioned that they're going for that win today, and it doesn't seem like they're backing down anytime soon. 4 rotations in, and they're making a statement.
Absolutely. No, he said they built their whole season around this meet. So today is a good day to have a good day.
That's a crazy strategy, but I mean, for a brand new team, so for those watching and those listening, there are 2 brand new teams in this conference right now. You have Greenville and Simpson. They're both established teams now. They have a couple years on their back, but they're not nearly as established as the other 4 that are all contending. So, to have these guys really come in and go neck and neck with season teams is a statement in itself. So, big shout out to both those coaches there.
Absolutely. And, just want to shout out Army again, just working calm and cool through this meet. It's easy to, overlook when you're just looking for the flashiest high difficulty gymnastics, right? But they are putting these E-scores really to their limit and doing it well. They are quietly and professionally, as JD said, chugging along, and they're doing such a good job at it.
No, absolutely. That was a really nice cross from Elvin Wilkinson.
Yeah, no, Evan's real strong.
I like watching winners' rings. I think you guys have done a phenomenal job today.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I'm lucky enough to get in with the team pretty regularly. Oh, some wobbles now, dude. Evan, don't embarrass me. I'm bragging about you. Keep it to his feet. Some wobbles, but it hits a hit, right? He has a pretty good start value as well between the difficulty of his strength elements and his dismount. So he can eat some mistakes without it being devastating. The tribe has historically been pretty strong on rings. I was lucky enough to win the conference title on rings twice back-to-back while I competed for the team. And even before then, we had a pretty long history of guys winning or tying for the win at conference. I believe like every year since like 2017, except for one while I was on the team.
Now, shout out Robbie Meyer.
Also, yeah.
He did. I believe he won ECACs on rings at one of the times during his years.
I believe it. Yeah, Robbie's a great guy, super strong rings worker. Unfortunately, I knocked him out of the record book, but that doesn't make him any less cool. Yeah, to talk.
I'll tell him you said that when I go get dinner with him tonight.
Absolutely.
But this was a great fourth rotation. I think we saw some really big gymnastics just across the board. Springfield did just finish up on pommel horse Caleb Palacio in that all-around spot. He popped that dismount right up. Army has done a great job on floor today. I mean, they have one more guy up at the moment. I believe it is Jaden. He's in the all-around spot. They put up 3 13s on floor with 1:12.95, which is not bad at all for Army. They're continuing to keep that the title for the event leader so far.
Army with 2 guys already and one more score loading in the top 6. I mean, you got a 4-man lineup, and right now, half of those guys are among the best in the conference. Not a bad place to be.
Not at all. So I believe this is Luke Tully from William & Mary on the all-around spot for rings.
Yeah, he does another one of those, low difficulty, high execution routines. Luke is a beautiful line. He's very good at the details. The basics are very strong. So
remind me again, we have 6 teams today. The winner of the ECAC championships does get an automatic bid to the NCAA championship. So I know these guys are really pushing. But what about those individual qualifiers? How does that typically work?
So the top 12 teams get to go to NCAA championships as a team, right? And then from there, the next top 5 all-arounders not on a qualified team qualify to nationals as an individual, right? And those athletes are then removed from the pot. So after that, the top 5 on each event remaining from non-qualified teams get to go as well, right? So say, for example, Navy somehow ends up not qualifying. Isaiah Drake is good enough so that he'd be, the top all-arounder and also probably up there on vault and on rings, in terms of top 5 for the conference. But because he's an all-arounder, he would be taken out in this hypothetical, qualifying as that, and all the other athletes would move up 1 slot and have the opportunity to qualify.
Quickly, before we just go over the event summary, I do want to point out, Army is still in the lead by 3 points. They have a 3-point lead on both Greenville and Navy, trailing in 2nd and 3rd. This is probably one of the best meets Army has had in a very long time. And I would argue that they could even do better.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to come down to the wire. They have got me on the edge of my seat here. This is super exciting gymnastics. And I mean, Army was talking about focusing on the end product being do good gymnastics. And in doing their own good gymnastics, they are making that lead bigger and bigger.
No, absolutely. William Mary did pull into the 5th place spot, right above Simpson with a 201.65. Simpson right now in 6th with a 200.7. Army number 1, 209.45. Navy 206.7. Greenville 206.0. Greenville, I mean, they're in 3rd place right now. They still have a shot with 2 more events left, and Springfield with a 203.0.
And to take you through the individual standings again, Caleb Palacio still in 1st place on floor at the 13.65. Moving to pommels, Matthew Petros for Navy is still in 1st with a 13.55. Up next for rings, Isaiah Drake in 1st with that 13.45. Vault, Ricky Mage with a 14.3 from Greenville. Connor Heary still in 1st on P-bars with a 13.35. And on high bar in 1st, Ricky Pism of William & Mary.
Wow, so this last rotation, not a single one of the contenders decided to beat one of their previous athletes.
No, but I feel a challenge coming in soon. Army has just finished floor. Up next, they've got pommel horse, and a certain Maddox Pavilion is incredible on pommel horse, consistently hitting these high scores. The very difficult routine executed absolutely top notch. So if anyone can challenge Matthew right now, it's definitely Maddox. I know Maddox is more than looking at that conference win. He's looking at that conference win to just build momentum to an NCAA All-American.
This is going to be a fun fifth rotation. So starting off on floor, we do have Simpson College. On pommel horse, Army, like you said, Maddox. Still rings, Springfield. Finishing up with 5 competitors, so Caleb is still doing that all-around spot. On vault, William and Mary, Ricky Pism, and Luke Tully. I'm excited to see them go. Parallel bars with Navy. We do have Captain Vishal Mandava. His brother, Kiran Mandava, the one that's on USA's at Stanford right now. Vishal, quick shout out, voted unanimously by his teammates and coaches to be the captain of the naval team. Huge honor, very, very big deal, and this is a senior meet, senior season. Congrats, good luck, Vishal. On horizontal bar, you have Greenville, capping off with Donovan Davini. So this is going to be a fun rotation.
Donovan's got such a nice high bar routine, man. To point out some other routines, Blaze Rousseau from Springfield has big rings dismount that he unveiled last week, I believe. Lay dub. USAGs, it was gorgeous, super nice gymnastics that he's doing there. On vault, actually, I would go back and I would highlight the other 2 athletes, Connor Barrow and Sam Lee. Connor Barrow, put up the highest score in William & Mary vault history and the 4th highest score in the nation so far this season with a big Yurchenko 2.5, which he brought back last week to win USAG Collegiate Nationals. And in second place was his teammate, Sam Lee.
Wow. Okay, I did not know that. I take that back for my commentation on vault for Mary. Sam Lee, Connor Barrow. I'm excited to see your meets to see your vaults. One quick shout out on Greenville. I see a familiar name, Jacob Foster. Jacob Foster is going to be doing high bar for Greenville today. Jacob is actually from my hometown of Knoxville, Tennessee. He's a gym tech guy, head coached by Matt Henry. Matt Henry has given so many athletes to the NCAA over the past couple years, and Jacob Foster is just one of those excellent ones. So excited to see his routine today.
I'm an especially big fan of his high bar routine, as he does it absolutely monstrous triple back at the end of his set.
Yeah, he does.
I am a sucker for someone who does way too many flips in their dismount.
No, absolutely. I love that triple back dismount. I mean, when they do it well and it looks nice, it's just a beautiful dismount in general. I had a former teammate, Kyle Abe from Cal. He competed that triple back on both floor and high bar, and rings, I believe. So, just some of those guys that are able to do the triples. I mean, when they do it on one, they do it on everything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it feels so different from event to event. I've never competed it on the floor, but high bar is easier to land, but it's just weird in that you're, flipping backwards while moving forwards. So that's like a weird sensation to get over. And then on rings, I mean, after your forearms are so dead from doing the strength in your set beforehand, you're just like, every time I dismounted for a triple on rings, I did like a prayer, like in Game of Thrones, gods of death, not today, please. Just always a little terrifying. I mean, you don't really get any help from the equipment, right? The high bar bounces. If you get it moving enough, it'll assist you in the skill. And rings just wasn't the same way. And floor, you have the benefit of doing it first, but the downside is you have to be a little super insane to actually do a triple on floor. So.
No, I definitely agree with that. I mean, on rings, I agree, right? Like, I mean, you're at the end of your set. Your arms and your shoulders are dead. If you can pull a triple back at the end of that, I mean, big props to you, because that is difficult. It also takes a lot of brain power and mental fortitude as well.
It's difficult to train these higher difficulty skills because you expect them to feel like your easier skills once you get them, right? Like once you learn how to, do for example, let's do an easier skill, like a giant on P bars. You'd expect, everything to feel like that giant on P bars after you've done it enough times. But the truth of the matter is with these, these Fs, these G element skills, I mean, they are just less consistent just by nature of doing, gymnastics that difficult. So, your tuck half is never going to, or pardon me, your triple back is never going to feel as easy as your tuck half, no matter how many times you rep a triple, just because it's hard gymnastics, it's hard on your body.
No, I mean, even when you get to this level of competition, when you see these guys doing all around or even event specials, you're not even seeing them warm up the bigger skills that they're competing. They warm up a smaller, dumbed down version, or maybe one, a little bit less than what their bigger skill is, just so they can save their body for that competition. And then that muscle memory really kicks in. So all these guys are relying on the reps that they put in the gym, day in and day out, to land the skills that they're hoping to do.
Yeah, no. A lot of you at home would be surprised, like how infrequently some of these athletes do their bigger gymnastics onto competition landing surfaces. William & Mary does, hardly ever, goes onto firm vault landing except for competition. And I know that's so similar for so many athletes around the country. Just, body preservation is the name of the game. You're doing harder gymnastics than you've ever done before, and you're doing it more often than you've ever done it before.
No, I mean, agreed, right? Like, because you want to save your body. These guys are competing every single weekend. They're doing, anywhere between 20 to 30 routines a week. So you can't put in those huge skills every single time. You got to save your body just a little bit.
All right, it looks like we're getting started. We'll hear the William & Mary vault clap running in the background.
Oh, I like that tradition. I feel like I would have done a bigger vault if I had had these guys clap in the back.
It was a gift from a Minnesota athlete. After they lost their program, we got one of their transfers, Garrett Kaziski, who allowed us to take up their tradition of the vault clap, and so we really appreciated that, and the guys have really taken to it.
I was wondering. I was like, I remember Minnesota doing that. That's really cool that you guys have continued on that tradition.
Of course. As we talked about, Army just chugging away, man. Absolutely knocking it out of the park, one routine at a time.
Yeah, you can see Jake Benet, head assistant coach over there, very, very happy. And Jake Benet, Nebraska gymnast, then went on to help start the Greenville program and is now an assistant coach at Army. So you're seeing just legacy NCAA across the board, not just the athletes, but also the coaches.
So this P-bar rotation with Navy is going to be especially exciting because Matthew Petros actually won parallel bars at at ECAC's last season.
Wow, okay. And he just finished up, and it was a good routine. I believe his teammate next is Vishal. And for Army, we do have Jake Prabhan starting up. He's gearing up. You can hear the vaults in the background from William & Mary. Although I couldn't see it, it did seem like he got to his feet. Team seemed excited.
Connor Bear is one of those athletes who can decide how many twists he's doing after he's hit the table. So so we'll have to look at the start value to see if he did double full or 2.5 because he's like that.
Those unpredictable gymnasts are my favorite to watch.
I don't think
any coach will tell you that maybe not, but I was one of them, so I think it's kind of fun. Oh, it was a 4-0 execution, so we did just do a double twist. Oh no, I apologize. That was Ben from Army.
Yeah, I don't think I'm smart enough to figure out what I'm doing that quickly, dude. The whole planet. Yeah, we could have an earthquake. I'm finishing whatever I've started. I cannot think that fast. With the 4.8 start value, it does look like Connor Barrow did a 2.5 and did it relatively well.
Yeah, 14.05.
Jake is cooking this pommel horse routine.
Right as you said that.
Yeah, I know. I jinxed him. Commentator's curse. Are they going to give him credit?
I think they'll probably end up taking 4 or 5. Also, quick note, your boy Sam Lee on vault just did a great 2.5.
Great. Yeah, no, typically, there's such sticklers on that dismount on the pommel horse. It looks like he might have gotten a bit of a lucky break there. If you show any downward momentum while you're pressing up to the handstand, the judges are supposed to be taking credit. So that is fortunate for him. I mean, and it's very tough to do, and he's strong, managed to push it all the way up eventually, but crazy how these things can swing.
No, that makes sense. I did just watch in parallel bars. Vishal did take a small little fall on that peach half. I think he's gearing up to get back on the bars right now.
Also a taller athlete. I believe so tall, he gets to set the parallel bars up an extra notch.
Oh, yeah, couldn't be me.
Me neither, man.
There we go, picking it right back up. Beautiful peach to hand. Ooh.
Yeah, so it looks like Luke popped that up well. He did not get a whole lot of distance from the table, though. So he opened up to try and spot that landing, stick it, ended up a little short, and nearly ended up headbutting the table.
Nah, he got it onto his feet. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
And for rings, I believe we have Will Wilson for Springfield. Nice back up rise straight.
He's done a good job improving that this season. I feel like it's better every time I watch it.
Yeah, for the second time. That is actually really good. Springfield is really showing out today. They got some big gymnastics going. And in the left-hand corner, we do have Jacob Foster, my boy over there. Big dismount we're about to watch. And he put it right to his feet. I love it.
Big double layout coming out on floor. And those skills are more common this season after all the double layout elements on floor received a 1/10 upgrade.
Wait, so a double layout is now an E?
Yeah, double layout's an E, full twisting double layout is an F, and lay dub dub is now a G.
Oh, that is news to me. I did not know that. Wow, okay.
Yeah, so that's why those skills are more common this year.
That does make a lot of sense on why we're seeing a lot of guys do these double layout skills. I mean, I just think the double layout skills look beautiful in general. Yeah, I believe we have Isaiah Drake starting up on P bars for Navy right now. That Hamna skill, is the mark of a good gymnast.
Oh yeah, that's one of those P-bar guy skills. And it's so technically difficult despite how easy it looks.
And the angles. Keeping everything just so tight. I wonder if he'll keep, that was a great dismount from Isaiah Drake. I wonder if he'll keep competing after he's done this season to try to make USA team again.
It's possible. It's super difficult for those guys to get into that program where they can continue training as athletes, in place of, direct service. But it's possible.
Agreed. For the academies, I feel like they do have their future kind of set.
Nice talk up the handstand for Donovan for Greenville and high bar.
Yeah, I just don't understand
Maddox
how they
is getting ready on pommel horse. That was a great fight on that flop. He got off 2 separate times and still managed to pull it back.
Nice extension, good Roth.
And keeping that circle nice and flat, well extended. And pump that dismount up. There you go, Maddox.
Yeah, you got it. He was about to go for that E.
I mean, now that it's it's a 2/10 swing instead of just a 1, it's kind of worth it if you think you can get that double pirouette around.
No, I completely agree. It's on floor for Simpson. I believe that's Jake Smith right now going. passes simultaneously, both PRs and floor.
Beautiful feeling. You can hear the athletes fight for every 10th now.
You can tell. I mean, this is the 5th rotation. Every single 10th counts now.
Oh, wow. Stoy.
Nice finish. Oh, I guess you're right. Navy hasn't hit one of their best events yet. They're finishing above high bar.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on. You cannot count the midshipman out.
You can hear the guys in the background. One more. That's all we got. I love hearing the athletes cheer each other on. I mean, that team camaraderie, you know, that's my favorite thing about just NCAA men's gym, is that no matter what team you're on, these guys just love, including myself, we just love good gymnastics. It doesn't really matter what uniform you're wearing. You're doing something good, we're cheering you on.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, nice dismount from Army on pommel horse. Pop that right up. And then Caleb Palacio again, great dismount off of rings, huge double-double.
You'll probably have to dry off after floating in the clouds there on that dismount.
I'm feeling like he's contending for that gold for ECAC champs today.
No, and as we head into this last rotation, it's imperative to point out that Isaiah Drake is actually competing for his 4th consecutive all-around title at the ECAC Conference Championships. He won as a freshman, sophomore, junior, and this year it is all on the line to see if he can get a sweep. I was lucky enough to compete against him when he was a freshman and I was a senior. And I had literally the best meet of my career, record-setting performance. I got 2nd place. Isaiah beat me by 3 points as a freshman. I mean, he is
that is a blow to the ego.
Truly, I'd be insulted if it wasn't him. He's just an incredible athlete. You know what I mean? What can you do against someone who's just so skilled, so talented, and works so hard?
Nah, some of these guys are just, they're just incredible. Oh, great dismount from Navy on P-bars. I believe the last competitor we have up right now is Brian Robinson for Simpson College on floor.
Caught that landing a little deep, but that's why we lift, right? We lift heavy in the weight room so that we can catch landings like that.
Yes, sir. Dismounting, I believe, with the double back. Yeah. Nice. Put it right to his feet. Don't know if he connected his heels, but got to his feet, and that's all that matters right now.
Bring it home for us, let's go.
I think Army just pulled ahead again. Wow. What is happening today?
Army's looking to shake things up, make some history here, be the first team to win conference besides Navy since 2017.
But they have a massive lead right now. It's literally 4 points. That's not shy at all. It's what, 3.905? Just shy from second place on Navy, 258.05. Then then you have William & Mary, who pulled into 3rd with a 256.4. 4th, Greenville with a 255.05. Then you have Springfield, 252.9. And in 6th place right now, you have Simpson College with a 251.45. Wow, we have the team scores have been shaken up this entire time, except for one. Army has stayed in the lead every single rotation. I mean, going into this last one, Navy is, I mean, they're all on their best event. They're going on high bar. They've done a good job being able to jump this exact scoring differential between Greenville a couple weeks ago. They were 4 points behind, and they managed to get up. So there is a chance, but it is really slim. And Army has to take some falls in order for Navy to take it. So I mean, it's a toss-up for second place right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to think about. Army rings to Navy high bar. That judging on rings has been tight. I mean, it's not super easy to break a 13 on high bar. I mean, Navy would have to beat each Army routine by like a full point in order to pull it out. So it's just, we are in uncharted waters here, right? And so just to throw you some calculus real quick, right? Because the top 12 teams get to go to NCAAs, and there's the automatic bid for the champion. Army is ranked 12th right now, right? So they are in that last possible qualification spot to NCAA championships. But if they get the auto bid, right, Navy slides down one, William & Mary slides down, and Greenville slides up, right? So it's just, we really need to keep an eye on William & Mary and Greenville, because the tribe is going to parallel bars, Greenville is going to floor. And, if Navy wins, they get if Army wins, they get the auto bid, even though they are currently ranked below William & Mary. But if Greenville beats William & Mary by about 5 points, then Greenville actually jumps William & Mary as well, and they get knocked all the way out of team qualification, despite being ranked higher than both Army and Greenville coming into this meet.
Yeah, this is a crazy toss-up. I mean, it's really anyone's game at the moment.
And to take you through some of the individual titles as well, on floor, Caleb Palacio still out in front with a 13.65. Pommel horse, Matthew Petros retains the lead with a 13.55. Excuse me, Isaiah Drake on rings in the lead with a 13.45. On vault, Ricky Mays out in front with a 14.3. Matthew Petros into first on parallel bars with a 13.6. Very well looking to retain his parallel bar title from last season. And in high bar, still in first, Ricky Pism from William & Mary, the very first routine of the meet.
I mean, that's a testament itself, right? When you're the first guy up on one event and you're the highest score that stands throughout. I mean, that's really cool.
Absolutely, that's the definition of setting the standard, right?
No, exactly. Not trying to make any predictions here, doing my best, but I'm excited for this last rotation.
And to give you some insight to the all-around race as well, Isaiah Drake is in the lead right now, followed by his teammate Brian Solomon, and rounding out third in the all-around race is Jaden Blank of Army.
Well, I'm actually surprised to not see Caleb Palacio's name in there.
Yeah, he is currently tied for 5th with Brian Rolliston.
He did have, I'm looking at his last score on rings right now, it was 11.35, a little bit lower than he probably anticipated. I mean, Navy has to get a 4-point differential to even tie Army right now on this last event. Do you think that they can do it, Christian?
Oh, I just do not know. Because I know all the Navy guys are capable of going 13 plus on high bar. And for Army on rings, they have 1 or 2 athletes who can, consistently punch that 13 mark.
Did you see that dismount that Army kid just did? Beautiful double pike front.
Yeah, so Connor Heary is one of those athletes who can consistently punch a 13. I mean, he only starts from a 13.5, which is very, very low, but he gets like a 9.5 execution every week. So, just about a 13 every week. I mean, it doesn't look like it's in the midshipmen's favor that they can pull this out, but I wouldn't say it's impossible, you know what I mean? You miss a dismount, you fall out of a handstand, that's the gate, It can all hinge on, one disaster routine and the whole lead gone.
Let's go,
I do think it's really cool to see Greenville and Simpson just contend with these legacy teams as well as they currently are right now. Like, they're not far behind. Greenville in 4th place right now, barely 1 point behind William & Mary, and Simpson right behind Springfield. I mean, they're all within a good 8, 9, 10 point differential.
Oh no, it just goes to show that like this conference is competitive and there is a demand for, you know, athletes in college. There are boys who want to compete, college gymnastics. And so if these programs exist, they will be filled and the athletes will compete and they will contend.
No, absolutely. So it looks like up on rings for Army, you have Gabe Alameda starting off. Beautiful holds.
Yeah, and starting off for Navy on high bar is Riley Rose, who I believe won high bar in ECAC's 2024. Gabe Almeida is another one of those senior athletes that JD Reeve shouted out just, you know, with the coaching switch. JD coming from Iowa, taking over the Army program, you know, which has been so long-standing. Gabe's a senior. He just did a really good job, you know, buying into the new program as everything changed and helping, you know, get his underclassmen teammates on the same page.
Yeah, making a switch like that, it's difficult, but if they're able to do it and they can, you know, buy into the team culture, then you're really just straight shooting.
Zachary Patrick from William & Mary moving through his parallel bars routine. Definitely squirrely, took some steps on his giant, the arch out of his handstand into the lapel, short on some of his support work, but he does get the stick on the dismount. So that routine was definitely a fight, but he made it happen.
It's especially on this last event for William & Mary.
And he's a P-bar specialist for the tribe this year, competing parallel bars in every meet, and actually even competing in Winter Cup. He was the first athlete from William & Mary to make Winter Cup in about a decade, and he competed parallel bars there.
Now that's a cool stat. I love that. Yeah, it looks like Will Wilson did take a little bit of a fall on his vault for Springfield. Still at 12.75, not a bad score.
All right, Gabe Almeida scores in at 12.8. Riley will have to be over a point ahead of that, and instead it's only 2/10. Well, I mean, I say only 2/10. 13 is, you know, gorgeous high bar score. 8-9 execution. He did a very good job, but we would have needed around a 13.8 to start closing that gap on Army.
Oh, for sure. We did see Jackson Clapper on floor with a 13.35. That's a pretty good score for Greenville on floor.
Yeah, and Zach had a rougher routine for William & Mary on parallel bars. So we have to look at the differential as these scores come in, because William & Mary's ahead by about 1.5 points right now. But as I said, if Greenville pulls ahead by 5 points, that's wraps.
That is. Did you see the athlete currently on high bar for Navy? He did try to do a pirouette and fell through. That is not a fall that Navy can take at the moment.
No, it is not.
And Army just stuck their dismount off of rings. I mean, Army knows what their job is right now, and they are executing perfectly. Okay, that was a nice dismount from Navy.
Very nice vault in the corner there from Owen Carney. Nico gearing up for the dismount here. Double front.
All right, he got it.
Yeah, scaring me a little bit for multiple reasons there. Yeah, I mean, you do not want to kick out early on a double front on parallel bars. It's not a kick out, it's a kick down. And so he kicked those legs in front of him, which means he had to try and save it on the back end. I was afraid for a second his knees were going to bend the wrong direction, but he managed to adjust and catch it in time. So he'll definitely incur some deductions there, lack of preparation for landing, and then the hop and steps themselves. But the rest of that routine was very nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Simpson, we do have up on pommel horse right now. I know that that's such a difficult event to end your meet on, but William, good luck, sir.
huge double front. Oh, and just a small step backwards. Caleb Palacio. Someone check this guy for a rocket or something. He flies when he competes, man.
I think that might have just gotten the title on vault today.
It is possible. I want him to drag OSB so bad.
I mean, he's getting there. He's just got to pop it up a little bit higher. It's a little bit lengthy at the moment, but if he can just convert that to just go a little bit higher, he'll be good to go with that extra half.
The king of execution rolling through here on rings right now, Connor Heary.
Yeah, that handstand is just majestic.
Even his toe point.
He looks like a tall athlete, like you would say. I believe was he the one that's 6'2"?
Oh no, that's Sam Smith.
Sam Smith. Ah, okay. Wow, and a great double pipe. That's a hard dismount to do on rings. You know, I do like this this change on P-bars where, you know, you can't change direction when you get to a handstand. I like it because I think it makes the P-bar routine flow a little bit better. I also like that every P-bar routine looks different now. I think in the last quad, almost every major P-bar routine that you were watching looked identical.
I agree. I do get that it looks better, but I am glad that I did not have to do it. I hated doing pirouettes on parallel bars. And just to pull it back real quick, it looks like Braden Erickson actually put his hands down on the floor dismount. It looks like he showed weight, so that'll be a full fall. And they cannot afford that over William & Mary right now.
Not right now.
Ooh, a little close on that Takashi, but he's working it. Oh, cross the one arm is such a nice sequence.
Yeah, it is. There's only two guys in NCAA that are doing it right now, him and Fred. And he sticks to dismount.
There we go. That is what we call a positive exchange on the cut to temp ratio. Doing the claws directly into the one arm like that, it looks very cool. Actually gets rid of a possible angle deduction on the quast. And I mean, come on, 5/10, and you get to look cool. Why wouldn't you?
Oh, so you could catch that honestly in like 30 to even 50 degrees, and they wouldn't take an angle deduction on that if you're catching it in one arm.
Because it's when your second hand comes back down. So I believe no.
Wow. Okay.
But
learning something new every day.
Yeah, they've also been more lenient on the quast. They extended the angles for which you're allowed to catch without deduction, and even the ranges for deduction on those quast, those long hang release skills like that. So you can actually get like, change. Yeah, I agree, because they disappeared for a while. So you can actually catch pretty low and still be all right.
Yeah, because it's impossible to catch a quast or any of those like releases on high bar without being a little bit different on your angle. Like unless you are one of those Japanese athletes that's catching everything right in that handstand, you're getting deducted.
Absolutely, and I believe that is the last rings athlete for Army. I think Army just won conference, and Sam Lee is a last-minute substitution in place of Mark Fu on parallel bars. Ooh. He hits the set though.
It's geared up to be an exciting meet. If Army did just take the lead, congrats to them. That is huge for the Knights.
Yeah, I don't think they took it. I don't even have word. They fought for it. They beat everyone down, and absolutely stepped on the gas there and did not let up the whole meet.
Not at all. So the last routines we have right now, we do have a Navy gentleman Isaiah on high bar at the moment. We do know this is going to be a big score for them. Great layout to Tkachev. Nice straddle. Fun little flying giant. Put the dismount to his feet. Double A. And Simpson popping that handstand right up on pommel horse. What left we have? Is this Luke Tully heading up on parallel bars?
Yeah, the all-around spot, I believe.
I think you're right. I think Army just did it. Because there's no way that they're going to be able to get a 16-point as their score.
Congratulations to Army.
Nice finish from Butelli on parallel bars. One more guy on pommel horse for Simpson, Brian Rollinson. This has been an exciting meet and not the outcome that I expected at all.
Oh, I mean, I wish I had a face cam. My eyes are so wide right now, just trying to understand everything that's going on. It has been just such a turbulent meet. Everything's on its head. Everyone's doing crazy things. This has just been one of the best. This has probably been the best meet in men's gymnastics this season, in my opinion.
No, I completely agree. I mean, having an upset like this, I mean, look, where's the final scores are coming in. I mean, when Simpson, as this last contender goes up, Army with a 4-point lead. That is crazy and honestly unheard of.
Decisive victory, truly.
I mean, even Navy, look, like Navy got a 309 in second place, Greenville 307, I mean, 2-point difference, William Mary 306, Springfield 3. Oh, it looks like Springfield might have just.
They jumped William Mary at the end there.
They jumped William Mary, yeah, barely. The last athlete just went for Navy. Who was that?
Brian Solomon,
Brian Solomon.
all-arounder.
That's right. This was a fun meet to watch.
Wow. Yeah, that's it. So we'll have the final scores here in a minute so we can talk about what that means for the teams, for the athletes. There we go. So Matthew Petrus won floor at, I believe that's pommel horse actually. Caleb Palacio won floor, the 13.65 from Springfield. But what we have before us is pommel horse. So Matthew Petros of Navy wins with a 13.55, although Matthew Roth getting a piece of that pommel horse title. Yeah, so there we go. We got floor with Caleb Palacio, 13.65, Owen Carney, 13.6 in silver, and Ben Aguilar of Army in bronze, right? But you'll see out until 6th place is where those all-conference honors goes.
We had a 3-way tie for third on floor.
Oh, that's crazy.
And pommel horse, like you just mentioned, Matthew Petros from Navy, 13.55 with the gold. Oh, and he tied with Matthew Roth. That's right, Greenville, 13.55. And in third place, Andres Esquivel Garza from Greenville as well, 13.45. I mean, if you look at those scores, basically to 4th place, I mean, that's technically 5th. I mean, that's all within a 0.15 differential.
Yeah, I mean, these athletes are so closely bunched. Moving on to rings, I'll take over as a former rings conference member myself. Isaiah Drake winning rings with a 13.45. I'll add you to the Cool Kids group chat. Congratulations. Alex Campbell of Simpson in second with a 13.2. And Joseph Buselmeyer on that last rotation with a 13.15. And so out until 6th place, we'll have that all-conference honors. And Jonathan Irwin in his 3rd ever rings routine for the tribe, managing all ECAC honors.
And with a stick. That's a good routine to end on.
Absolutely. So vault, Ricky Mays of Greenville to 14.3, pulling out the win. That's actually the 2nd time he's won. I believe when he was a freshman, my 5th year competing, he won vault again. So congratulations. Jackson Clapper of Greenville in 2nd with a 14.25, and Braxton Jones pulling out bronze. Oh, tying for bronze with Caleb Palacio of Springfield. 14.1 apiece.
I love that Greenville, Simpson, and Springfield are the ones that took the titles on fall. On parallel bars, you do see Matthew Petros from Navy take the gold with a 13.6, Connor Heary from Army with a 13.35, and William Champagne from Navy with a 13.3. Navy taking 2 of those placements.
And last off, Ricky Pism winning high bar with the first routine of the meet. In second, Jake from Army, and in third, three-way, goodness gracious, three-way tie for second. So Jake, Luke, and Boone from 3 different teams all tying for second place with a 13.1. Just as a funny aside, earlier in the week, I asked Ricky if he was going to win conference this week on high bar or what. And he said, probably not. And I rolled my eyes and said, don't worry, I'll hope for both of us. So I'm glad I was right, Ricky.
I mean, look at that's really fun. I love that, Christian. But if you notice, all the 4 guys that took the titles on high bar, they all stuck their dismounts. I mean, that makes the biggest difference.
Absolutely. And then the all-around race, Isaiah Drake did it, going 4 for 4. All-around champion, Isaiah Drake. What an absolutely phenomenal athlete. It's a huge accomplishment. He should be very proud. In second place, Caleb Palacio bringing it back. There we go with a 76.6. Jaden Blank of Army, the 75.95. And then rounding out that all-conference honors, of course, Brian Solomon of Navy, Luke Tully, a freshman from William & Mary, and Jake Smith from Simpson.
What an incredible meet. This was not the outcome I expected, but I mean, Army, good for you. Congrats today. ECAC championships with a 313.5. In second place, Navy with a 309. In third place, we do have Greenville, huge for Greenville, 307. Just shy, William & Mary. Springfield coming in on fourth with a 306.8. Right behind them, William & Mary with a 306.0, and Simpson College with a 299.6. I mean, this was exciting across the board. I would never have guessed that Army would have taken the lead, but I am so happy for them, and I know for a fact they're going to be excited today.
Yeah, and just to run you through some team calculus in my head real quick. So the Army Black Knights have now, from 12th place, auto-locked themselves by winning conference to the NCAA championship as a team. Navy had a high enough national qualifying average to qualify as well. And the third team to be taking that spot should be William & Mary. Their NQA, their national qualifying average across the season, was higher than Greenville and Springfield. So although they beat them, there was a certain point total they had to beat William & Mary by today specifically in order to jump them in average, right? Greenville would have had to beat them by about 4 or 5 points or so, and Springfield, I believe it was around 9. So congratulations to both teams today. I mean, this is a great accomplishment to beat William & Mary on the day, but it does look like due to a strong average, William & Mary should sneak that last spot to NCAA qualification, and in doing so be the 8th team in tribe history to do so. And it's just worth pointing out for the athletes who are on teams that did not qualify, those seniors specifically, they just had their last meet ever with their team, right? Because not the whole team doesn't get to travel to NCs. It's going to be based on individual qualifications. So just to take a moment and, really shine a spotlight on those athletes who just competed with their team for the last time today.
No, congrats to all of them as well. I completely agree, Christian. I mean, it's bittersweet, being at your last meet, being a senior, but, being out there with your team, really congrats to every single competitor out there. It is an incredible honor to be able to put on your team's flag on your chest and represent. This was just fun all around.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today, gym fans, for the biggest and best conference championship in collegiate men's gymnastics. It's been an honor to speak to you today. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Christian Marsh.
And I'm Asad Jooma.
Thank you, and have a good evening.
Moving on to the top 6 scores for 4 exercises. Will you hear your name, please come forward to accept your award and pause for a photo. Tied for 6, a score of 13.4 from Navy, Isaiah Drake. And from Springfield, Bill Wilson. Isaiah. All right, moving on to pommel horse. Finishing in 6th place with a score of 13.0 from Army Maddox Cabalot. Noah Duran. In 3rd place with 13.45 from Greenville, Andreas. And tied for 1st place with 13.55 from Greenville, Matthew Roth. These are your ECAC pommel horse champions. Moving on to the ECAC Assistant Coach of the Year. This is going to be Fred Holt and Ryan Terrell for Navy. Congratulations, Craig and Ryan. Moving on to the rings. Tied for 6th place, a score of 12.85 from Navy, Julian Galvez, and from Army Potter Perry. In 5th place, with 13.05 from William and Mary, Jonathan Irwin. In 4th place with 13.1 from Simpson, Ryan Rolson. In 3rd place with a 13.15 from Army, Joseph Busselmeyer. In 2nd place with Alex Campbell. Isaiah Drake. These are your ECAC Rings champions. Moving on to the ECAC Rookie of the Year. This is going to Luke Tully from William and Mary. Congratulations, Luke. Moving on to vault. In 6th place, the 14.0 from Greenville, Braden Erickson. In 5th place, the 14.05 from William and Mary, Connor Barrow. Tied for 3rd place, the 14.1 from Springfield, Caleb Palacio, and from Simpson, Braxton Jones. In 2nd place, the 14.25 from Greenville, Jackson Clapper. And in 3rd place, the 14.3 from Greenville, Ricky May. next award is the ECAC Routine of the Year. This goes to Maddox Catalan. March 1st against Illinois Greenville. It was also the second highest score in the country. Congratulations, Maddox. Moving on to parallel bars. In 6th place, the score of 13.0 from Army, Jacob Brenner. Tied for 4th, the 13.05 from Navy, Isaiah Drake. And from Greenville, Donovan Divini. In 3rd place, the 13.3 from Navy, William Champagne. In 2nd place, the 13.35 from Army, Connor Harry. And in 1st place, the 13.6 from Navy, Matthew Petros. These are your ECAC parallel bar champions. Our next award is the ECAC Most Improved Gymnast of the Year. This is going to Brian Ralston from Simpson. Moving on to high bar. Tied for 5th, a score of 13.0 from Navy, Riley Rose, and from Greenville, Donovan Divini. Tied for 2nd, with a score of 13.1 from Navy, Boone Washburn, from William & Mary, Luke Tully, and from Army, Jake P. Mary, Ricky Pisum. These are your ECAC high bar champions. In 1st, we have Ricky, tied for 2nd, Jake, Luke, and Boone, and tied for 5th, Donovan and Riley. Now these are your ECAC high bar champions. Moving on to all around. In 6th place, a score of 73.45 from Simpson, Jake Smith. In 5th, a 74.6 from William & Mary, Luke Tully. In 4th, a 75.75 from Navy, Ryan Solomon. In 3rd, a 75.95 from Army, Jaden Blake. Springfield, Caleb Palacio. entire team to receive your trophy. In third place, he scored 307.3, Greenville.